The Broken Earth Trilogy by N.K. Jemisin won the Hugo Award 3 years in a row, which has never been done before. Some authors have won it 2 years, not 3. It's a dystopian fantasy sci-fi series set on a ruined Earth plagued by catastrophic weather. Volcanoes, earthquakes, and tsunamis are frequent, they're the norm, and that makes living incredibly difficult. It's hard to farm when a volcano might cover your crops in ash. It's hard to fish if a tsunami might destroy your boat. In this world, certain people are born with the ability to draw energy from the earth, allowing them to control or accidentally cause seismic events like earthquakes. So this is the magic system. These people are kind of like earthbenders. They can move the earth and do other things. The problem is that their powers are very dangerous to the general public, and they're often misunderstood. The public often tries to kill any individual with this power, and the book is way darker than I thought it would be. It doesn't matter if you are a little old grandma or a baby in a crib. Once the general public finds out that you have this earthbending power, they will try to kill you. The story centers on Asun, a middle-aged woman with this earthbending power. The first book opens with a gut punch. Her son is murdered and her daughter is kidnapped, so it's not a very good day for her. So Asun sets off on a journey to rescue her daughter, which becomes the driving force of the story. Asun is the main character in all 3 books, though you do get multiple POVs throughout the series. All 3 books have various twists and turns, so I can't dive too much into the plot and characters without spoiling a lot. What sets the series apart is narration choice. Instead of using I or a named protagonist, much of the story is told using you, so second person narration. Instead of I picked up a ball, Jason picked up a ball, it's you picked up the ball, you went for a walk. So it's pulling you into the story a bit. It's done very well. Jemisin is a very good writer, but there's a reason a lot of authors don't use second person narration, because it definitely makes the book a little bit more jarring. And I do enjoy books that try something different. And this is probably why the book won the Hugo. The protagonist isn't traditional. The world building is interesting, and the narration style is definitely bold with the second person. I thought the first book, the 5th season, was okay. And while it didn't completely blow me away, I can see why people loved it and why it won the Hugo. And if you loved the first book, you'll probably enjoy the second and third. But if you only thought the first book was okay, you'll probably struggle with the Obeliskate, which is book 2. I think book 2 did a great job with the world building, but I found the characters very frustrating. Asun felt very reactive rather than proactive, and the plot often paused to focus on world building and side characters instead of moving forward. So I appreciated the world building, but the characters kind of just drove me insane. There's a line where Asun says, "It's never a waste of time to educate others." And while I like that sentiment in theory, it's just not true. Without spoiling too much, there's a moment where one character who has been withholding crucial information finally opens up and asks Asun for help. The analogy I use is this. Imagine you're on a sinking boat in the middle of the ocean. You've figured out how to fix the leak, but the person who's supposed to be helping you is only occasionally helping you because they're too busy teaching other people on the boat how to swim. The boat sinks in the middle of the ocean. If you know how to swim, you're still going to drown. And that's the dynamic between Asun and this other character. She's complaining about this character and their secrets, but then I don't have much sympathy because she doesn't really help them that much. And she just kind of ignores a lot of what they say, which is kind of annoying. So I didn't really enjoy the Obeliskate. Honestly, I'm surprised it won the Hugo. That being said, I haven't read many of the fantasy books that year, so what do I know? And then I read the 3rd book, The Stone Sky, and while I didn't love it either, I definitely understand why it won the 3rd Hugo. The 3rd book reintroduces momentum, it reveals key mysteries, and blends in more sci-fi with elements already present. And Asun actually becomes proactive again. The plot is moving with purpose. If anything, just the pacing whiplash was my biggest issue. The Obeliskate book 2 felt way too slow. And then the Stone Sky moved almost too fast. The series probably would have flowed better if some of the chapters were redistributed between the two. But overall, my final thoughts, if you're into fantasy and want something different, the 5th season is worth checking out, the first book. It's not a traditional fantasy novel. It's bold with the second-person narration, and I think it was pretty ambitious. If you fall in love with the first book, the rest of the series will likely land for you. But if you're like me, finish and you just felt kind of lukewarm about it, the later books probably won't change your mind. That's my review of the Broken Earth trilogy. If you enjoyed my review, please like and subscribe.